Okay, let's try this one more time. I am streaming right now. I'm going to be going through product research today, methods, and exactly to show you how to find products that are in the low risk markets. Those are my favorite ones that I keep talking about. If you have any questions, please do leave them below in the chat, and I might connect Instagram to this. It's going to be hard though to share the screen on Instagram. So any questions throughout, do ask them in the little chat box. But for now, I'm just going to be waiting for a few people to come on and share the screen in a little bit. So do not worry, soon you will be able to see the screen. I'm just waiting for some people to come on to make sure it's actually live. I tried to do this the first time and I had a little bit technical difficulties, but now I am in fact live. If you're watching this later, you can fast forward through this intro part because we will be getting down through product research methods. That is the number one thing people ask me, and those are actually the videos on my channel that get the most views because I think people think it's more difficult than it is, and oftentimes they're looking for products but they don't really know what they're looking for. They're just kind of endlessly in this loophole of trying to find products, and they even might find one but they don't go to finally actually ordering the product because they overthink it or they think something's wrong. So I think the most helpful thing is to actually watch somebody do it, and the more you watch somebody do it, the more confident you will get, and you will also understand kind of how to do it, right? So I'm going to be using Amazon and of course the Chrome extension. You do need some kind of an extension because without it it's impossible to analyze markets, so definitely invest into that. So I suppose we can get started with the product research. There's many methods, but there is not one magical method. I say this all the time. You can't just go to deal sites and copy another product because it's never going to bring you success. There's a lot of opportunity and potential. You just have to know the right markets to look for and the right criteria. So we're going to be going through that today. I do have an entire playlist dedicated to product research, and even though the methods sometimes may be the same, it's still helpful to watch it. And it's not necessarily the method that's successful, but it's more so the actual understanding of the market and how to launch the product. So that's something I really heavily emphasize, because if you don't get product research correct, then nothing else would be correct either. It's going to be so much harder to actually launch the product, to rank the product. It's not going to move, it's not going to sell. That's why if you do it correctly, everything else is smooth sailing. So I'm just going to pick one random method today and walk you through it. I'm gonna share my screen now, so let me fix that. Make sure you can see me and the screen. I don't do lives too often, so sometimes I have a few errors when I do it and I might have to restart, but this time is all good. Let me just double check for it to load so I can see that you can in fact see my screen, and then we can jump into it. Okay, there we go. Cool. Okay, so you can see my screen. I'm actually in Amazon right now. I think today I'm gonna start with Google. So I'm actually gonna type in Amazon hot new releases, and this is kind of, I really like this approach. So you go to Google, you type this in, and you click here, and you see all of these categories. And don't obviously go into books, but the thing is you can go category to category to category, and it becomes really fun. So let's go to kitchen and dining. I'm just picking this one. And what hot new releases are is basically products that are new and that are selling really well. Oftentimes they will have much lower reviews. And the good thing is that it means these people actually launched a product recently and it began to do well. So that's obviously the point, right? You want to be one of those sellers. And a good thing is you can actually get ideas. And the reason why I even say this is because Me personally, I was a product on hot new releases. I got a badge that said new releases for one of my newest launches, and it was selling quite well. I'm doing a case study for that product in my private label club, theplclub.com. You can join it for $7. I'm gonna basically break down how I actually got the hot new releases badge and anyways. But it's actually funny because if you were to do research, perhaps one of my products would be one that would show up, and then you would think that, not to do the product because it's on here, but in reality, that someone is me, is doing well with the product. And that's why I recommend you do this as one of the methods. Of course, there's so many other different methods that I like to teach, and I think you should explore all of them because it might get boring sometimes to do the same one, but there is success in all of them. So let's actually get into this. What you're basically going to want to do is run the extension for here and look at interesting products. I'm already looking at some of these and I know they're bad products, so I'm going to just say it straight off the bat. This one, for example, Tupperware, this seller might be doing well. He doesn't even have that many reviews, 251, and he's in the hot new releases section, but that doesn't mean necessarily it can't be you, right? So not all the products on here are viable, but some of the markets are actually really, really oversaturated. But you're going to need to couple this method alongside with knowing what a low risk market looks like, because this one is not a low risk market. Even though it looks like the seller, when you open this, they do really well and they have low reviews, it's actually not the case, because I actually knew somebody who went into this market and they spent, I believe, $7,000 on inventory, not including shipping. But everyone in this category has thousands of reviews. So this person might be doing reviews, they might be getting them from kind of black hat methods, or they're maybe launching it with giving away a lot of units, and they have a lot of money for that. But you might not have tens of thousands of dollars literally in order to rank this product. So that's kind of not what you should be doing. You want to look for low risk markets where the reviews are lower and also the sales are lower. So the sales for this products are really off the charts, really, really off the charts, but it doesn't mean you're going to do well. Give me 1 second. I'm going to, again, get rid of the screen share. I'm just gonna double check something. Give me 1 second. I'm still getting used to this live thing, so just want to make sure I'm not frozen. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Smooth transition. I feel like I should do lives more frequently than I do them. Okay, back to here. So let's actually run the Helium 10 extension on this and see what the markets show. How I like to do this is essentially some products I know they're oversaturated, so I don't even bother. What you can actually do is go into subcategories, which I'll show you in a second. But for now, let's just look at these products and I'll show you how to hone in on them. Obviously, I like for the revenue to be there. This product is doing 5,000, which is still good. All of these are doing well. This one's not too well, right? But all of these are selling really well. I actually like to glance at the pictures too and make sure it's something I can actually private label, right? So if it's, for example, a big company, a big makeup company, or a big sport and outdoor company, I know I can't compete with them. So I'm going to pick something that I can obviously source that's not patented. So let's open this. This is a can opener, topless can opener, right? Really fancy, definitely something that's private labeled, and actually the margin on this is quite good. They're selling it for $10, but I know that this is probably selling, you can get it on Alibaba for way cheaper. So topless can opener. The thing is, I don't know what the main keyword for this is, So I'm going to take this, but I can imagine that there's probably many different alternatives to this. But let's see. See, there's very different types. Oh, actually, most of them are this one. No reviews. So this could either signify a brand new market or an oversaturated market where people are getting in and kind of over and over launching this product and booting people off the top. So what I actually like to do when it's kind of a unique market and I'm not sure what it is, I'm going to take the ASIN over here and I'm going to go to Helium 10, which is the extension that I'm using. If you don't have this, Karina 50 gives you 50% off every the first month, and Karina 10 gives you 10% off every month, right? So what's really cool is I go to keyword research and I go to Cerebro, which is reverse ASIN. I put this product in here and I do get keywords. So this is going to show me all the words it's ranking for, and that way I can sort them from highest to lowest and see what the highest one is, so I can realize that this is the main keyword, right? So can opener is obviously, it's big, right? But this might be, this is not the product, right? It could be anything. That's a normal can opener. It's not a bottle opener. So you have to find the main keyword that the first page is going to be all basically the product that you're looking for. This is not it. So sometimes it takes a while and you have to keep going. But right here, topless can opener, I think this is what it is. It has 38,000 reviews. I mean, not reviews, search volume, which is quite high. I would even say it's a little competitive. And I also like to reference the giveaway. So it says 512. So actually 512 divided by 8 would be 64 a day, right? So that's kind of what you want to, it's a quick estimator to see if it's a competitive market. That means you have to do 64 sales a day to match the sales velocity of the sellers. That's kind of a lot. So let's open it and see the market. I would say it's a little competitive, but what's interesting is that the reviews are kind of high for some of them, but let's see the market overall and see what comes up here. Okay, also I can probably assuming this is a seasonal product because it's summertime and people are using this more frequently, but to find that out, there is a way to find that out too. So let's look at this over here. What I first look at is the revenue. Then I look at review count and of course price. After this, I take the product as phase 2 and I really deep dive into it. Again, all of that is in my private label club. If you're not in it, it's literally $7 for a trial. And then when you're a full member, which is extremely affordable, I can actually validate your product. So there's a secret form I created where you submit everything about your product that you're thinking about, not just a screenshot and like, oh, this is fine. I ask you to actually in-depth questions that will validate the product. I take a look at it and make sure there's not red flags. And I literally save my students so much money and time by telling them this is not a good product for you because of ABC. It's really helpful, and I really suggest you do that if you're considering any products. But let's take a look at the revenue so we can dive deep on the numbers. So it's a little unstable. So 300,000, 10, 30,000, 4,000, right? A lot of people, this seller is doing absolutely amazing. It's a different product though. Most of these, it's still half and half, right? So you want the revenue to be more stable. Even so here, the demand isn't really that high for some of these sellers, and they put sold out here, which is interesting. You can't even do that for Amazon listings technically. But anyways, this is probably a product that a lot of Chinese manufacturers are also getting into and drop shipping it. That's possible. Sometimes these kind of really easy markets that you can't brand have this hijacker issue with manufacturers drop shipping them. And how you find that out to see if it's Prime eligible. I feel like I have so much to talk about, but I'll show you that in a second. Anyways, so I want the revenue to be stable. Let's say 5,000 is the minimum I look for to be all throughout this. Right here, this is not really that stable. Some sellers are not doing well. Others are doing a little bit better, but that's not that great, right? Reviews, if these would be great. Oftentimes when I see a review count that is this low, It's a little alarming to me just because it's either a market with a high turnover rate or it's being drop shipped. A turnover rate, which means people are launching the product and then other sellers are kind of getting in, doing giveaways, and then booting everyone off of the first page. Essentially, that's what that means. So I don't like that. But if it's low reviews, then that's great. But it's not really realistic. That's why I say for sellers to find reviews that are in the hundreds or even a couple hundreds, 500, it's fine, as long as some sellers are kind of in the double digits. So this is definitely a no. But let's just take a look at this product right here. This is how you know it's being drop shipped, either by a other seller. So there's a lot of kind of other business models, I guess you want to call them, that going around saying that they can drop ship your products for you for Amazon. I really don't like that, because if you do that, that's against terms of service. It's very obvious. If you're doing it from Walmart or even China, AliExpress, Alibaba, it's not going to work, because Amazon's going to see that you're shipping it out from different addresses and block your account. They don't want you to kind of, I guess it looks like a loan essentially, because you're selling something you don't physically have, and then once someone buys it, then you buy it. They don't like that, and that's not a good way to run a business. So right here, you can actually easily tell this is drop shipped. I've seen this so much, and I still do, because of this whole pandemic. People are listing random things on Amazon, especially related to the quarantine, pandemic, all those type of supplies. And you look right here, the delivery arrives in 2 months. That means it's getting shipped by sea. It takes 2 months for this to arrive. No one's going to buy this, you know? Oftentimes the reviews on this are bad. People are getting very upset that they're not able to get their products in on time. So that's not a good market. Not good for long term, not good for anything. So something to pay attention to. Some people don't even realize this. And they also don't have the Prime badge. And the low reviews all throughout the market, it's just not good. So anyways, that's not a good situation. So let's just keep looking, right? These commodity type items, I also don't like them. You know this, though, if you've watched any of my videos, just because a lot of the times they have a lot of reviews. You can't differentiate. I like markets where you can kind of add value in a way, in a very interesting way, and stand out. But here you can't stand out. Okay, let's keep looking. These blenders, all of these, I see them on Shopify. So actually on some of these, the very first category, it might be hard to find a product. So I definitely suggest going into subcategories. Let's go to bakeware and even more subcategories. Let's go to muffin and okay, so this might be a low ticket product because they're very inexpensive, but you know what I mean? The more you go down, like pastry and baking molds, the less chance you have of it being a commodity and of someone doing it. So this is more kind of interesting. And then you do the exact same thing. You run the Chrome extension. You can run Chrome extensions on people's storefronts. You can run them on things, but people just do such weird things, like this 3D sleeping baby soap mold, right? It could be anything, but let's look at the revenues and see here, the demand is quite low for these. So maybe you're not in the right category, and it's basically a rinse and repeat process. You want to keep doing this for each kind of all the categories. This one's doing the best out of them all, so let's go take a look. It's still low, so I don't really like that. But what I do suggest is maybe if they're doing semi-okay, try going to their store and see if they have other items that are doing well. I like doing this too because maybe they have other products that are successful, so they're trying to do more products and it's just not, maybe that one just didn't do so well. So right here, actually, this product is doing well. And that's the avocado peeler. This is, again, not the best. It's a product on Shopify and it's oversaturated. I don't recommend that. But essentially, what the first priority when doing this is try looking for revenue that is at least $5,000. If you can't find, let's go to Madeline pants. Some categories might not have that much of a demand. For example, here, revenue is $38. That's literally nothing. So let's go back to bakeware and let's try to look for electric cake pot and mini cake makers. Maybe I should get that. That actually sounds like a good investment to make mini donuts in your home. So the revenues here are looking a little bit better, especially for these products. So the little mini donut maker, and what else is this? So the donut maker looks like it's making good money. Mini donut maker, that's cute and has really low reviews, 60, and it's #1 bestseller in mini donut maker. So let's actually look at this keyword and see how the market's doing. The reason I'm doing this is because you can't gauge your success off of one product. You have to check other products, like the whole market for the product. So I go to all departments and I paste and I search, and then I see how the whole market is doing as a whole. So I run the extension and I check it out. So this market's a little bit better, but from what I see, there's still not too much stability here, because this seller right here is taking most of the sales, these two. Everyone else is kind of trailing along. However, it's not too terrible, but there's people doing extremely well. This is a different product. You also have to double check the main keyword. I always say this before you actually seriously consider a product. Use the magnet and the Cerebra tool in Helium 10 to determine if this is a product, what's the main keyword for this product. But see, again, it's not very stable all around. Some people are doing well, others aren't. The reviews are okay though. Not that bad. If I saw this, I would definitely think it's a good market, but the the revenue is not that stable. Obviously the price, I would assume it's profitable. Oh my gosh, is someone really selling this for $2,000? Wow. Talk about high ticket. This person's selling this. I don't think I've ever seen something that high on Amazon from doing product research. These are markets that are high, but this is obviously for a restaurant or something. Anyways, this would also be expensive to source. But see, with these items, you only need a few sales a month to hit a revenue of $10,000. Like 5 sales a month, but the chance of someone buying it is a lot lower. The conversions are lower. I don't really like high ticket Amazon products like this. I would say the max is probably $60. That's reasonable to sell on Amazon, or even $50, just because it's people buy it more easily. But anyways, I think you understand the idea. You just essentially want to continue looking through all these categories. Let me check, how long have I been going live for? Okay. So anyways, sorry, I get distracted sometimes. I'm trying to figure this out, make sure everything's on par. So essentially, yes, what you want to do for this method is continue going through these categories, subcategories. Start with kind of a more general one, but then kind of zone in and go niche. And don't be scared that you think that everyone is looking at this, because actually most people don't even actually carry on with a product. So that eliminates more than half the competition, literally. And if you do want more product research methods, I literally always talk about my private label club, but that's because I honestly think it's the best value that's available in the Amazon community for private label. I made it so affordable, it's not even funny. You can join it and get access to basically an educational program which shows you Amazon A to Z for $7. You get part of a product research vault. You get so many in detail deep analysis. I put a case study in there for a new product that I launched. Maybe you know it if you're in the club already, but the case study is awesome. It's going to be a 6-figure a month product. I sold out of inventory and I started getting sales without even running PPC. The case study is on there because I want to teach you how to find those things. It's basically new content every week, and the best thing about it is you get access to 24-hour support. You get access to our private chat group with other students, and you get product research validation, which is the most value ever. If you're a full-time member, you can submit unlimited products, and basically I literally take a look at your product. It's better than mentorship, is better than everything, because literally if something's wrong with it, I will let you know what it is. Anyways, hello to everybody. If you've missed the stream, this will be on replay. I think I'm gonna come and do these more often, just because I think they're definitely fun. I can answer your questions directly, and I think product research is very necessary for everybody, and really perfecting that, because if you know product research correctly, everything else is so much easier. But I'm gonna end it here for now. Yeah, any questions, leave them in the comments and I will answer them later. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're probably already subscribed if you're seeing this live stream. But anyways, yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.